Hey everyone, welcome to the D.O.A. podcast, where we're a bunch of giggling idiots. Because Jimbo Socks decided before the start, I got this D20, I'm just gonna roll it and see, hey, how am I gonna talk today? And I roll 1, it's like, I get done talking like this.
Hi, Jimbo. What's your name, everybody? I like cookies.
And look at this, man. I'm broken before my stream tomorrow.
I like tea and cakes for tea time. Okay, I'm done.
Okay. Alright, can we just say that besides your child, Eric, selling nipples the last time we were all together, would this be the dumbest start to a podcast ever?
Oh, God. I
hurt.
the disclaimer in chat.
We apologize if we say anything stupid, dumb. Yes.
Yeah, don't clip that. We don't need that in the best stuff.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do. We need all of that.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Johnny Chase, your host, alongside Mr. Shortbus Eric.
Mm-hmm.
I know you want to say nipples, but your child's probably right beside you.
No, he's right. He's right there.
Child,
we don't want to mention how today you said "fuck a duck" and then
it was a solid minute and a half of it.
Yeah.
Solid minute and a half.
And you had to bribe him with popcorn to get him to stop.
Yeah, I did.
It's like, I will get you popcorn if you just stop saying "fuck a duck."
It was instantaneous too. It's like a soundboard. Fuck a duck. Fuck a duck.
And also with the little icon down here, Jimbo Sock 13.
Hey,
and we're very lifted. Talk like this. Great.
We're gonna have a game day where I do that. Hey, everybody, I'm playing some Apex Legends. So styled. I gotta stop. Oh. It's not me. I'm gonna play as Bloodhound. Let's go. Alright, that's enough of the voice. Oh God, we're never gonna get through the podcast.
Spoiler alert for later on. My name's Weatherby.
Oh God. Yeah. Willingham over here helps me. My name is Weatherby.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
I don't know if it's just because we've all been cooped up in our houses for the last 4 months.
A little bit of that.
We're all delirious. I'm not gonna have that problem soon because my boss called me. He's like, "Hey, you can come back in 3 weeks." I'm like, "Aces, let's do this."
There we go.
He's like, "You want to come back?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" Like, I can do 10 to 6 and tell old people to stay behind the line. No problem. Oh God.
Oh Jesus.
Don't worry, I'm coughing because I'm laughing so hard. It's not COVID.
Oh God, it's so. Yeah, that one popped a rib out.
Right.
Oh God.
So make sure you roll with advantage when you roll for how you're going to speak on a podcast, because that natural one.
God.
I did that for a good 5 minutes before we went officially live.
Yeah.
And
And it just, I'm like, fuck it, we're going live now. Oh my God. How have you guys been?
My day got better. minutes ago.
Yay.
I mean, I'm doing well.
Yeah.
Aside from creating a new voice.
Your new
Yeah.
hit. The name of your new voice is Weatherby.
No, it's Willingham.
Really, yeah.
That's right. Do me a favor. Can you like record like a whole bunch of lines from like Elite Dangerous and submit them to FDev? Because I want that.
Slow
want that,
down
like-
for docking.
Friendship drive charging.
Yeah, friendship drive charging. Go to pod 42.
Press A to lock on target.
Cannot frame shift. Hard points are out. Oh god.
Oh my god. You sound like that kid from South Park. The one with diabetes and a
Yeah,
lisp.
yep.
What's his name?
I can't remember his, I know who you're talking about, I can't remember his name.
Record the Joker fatality song in that voice.
Oh yeah, I think he sings like a "Pop Goes the Weasel" song for one of his fatalities. I can't
I'll have to
remember
look
which.
it up.
Yeah, we'll have to look it up.
Oh my god.
Wait. I'm Batman.
No. Please stop.
Okay, yeah. That's
It's
all right.
Oh my god. Yeah, I think Eric, especially out of all of us, needed that after today. And you were gonna do Halo 2, and it just decided not to load.
No, Shiro and I made it because there was like 15 or 16 chapters. Shiro and I were pretty much almost done with chapter 7, and it tried to load a cutscene and disconnect both of us. Well, Shiro had to go off and get his go and get his power supply for his computer. All right, cool. So Jimbo jumped in. We made it about halfway through chapter 7 before it just on us. It shit the bed. So so that left a less than pleasant taste in my mouth. And then shenanigans with the tiny one, and then. Yeah, so I ended up landing on Minecraft and just was kind of on my own for a little bit, building stuff and like, no, leave me alone. I don't want to play with anyone. I'm just be over here.
Build
We bought you armor, but we brought you diamond armor. I don't care. Leave it at the door.
Build a house.
Build a castle out of cobblestone.
Yeah.
And glass.
With blackjack and hookers.
Blackjack and hookers. But yeah, it was not in a good headspace by the end of the stream today.
Yeah, because I know on your end, what you've been doing this week is you've actually been going through all the Halo campaigns. So you did Reach. I jumped in for the last little bit there. Then you did CE with Wolf yesterday.
Yep.
Probably would have. I don't know. 2 would have probably taken you a while. Because it took me and Woody, I think, two full streams to do. And then ODST you've already done. We did that as a game day.
Right.
Then there's 3, and then 4, and then 5. And we got them all. And then you got them all done. Unless you want to go, through Halo Wars, but
no
RTS. And
no.
There's also that twin stick shooter, the Spartan Assault. I think it's called.
Sorry, I just read the chat. Apparently, Wolf was like, I was playing Halo 2 on my own, and the performance was straight dookie butter.
Even solo. I mean, what he played, it wasn't too bad.
No, I mean, you know what? We were doing okay. Like I said, it was just, all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, it was like, nope, we're going to disconnect you.
Mm.
Like, what? Like, wait, why? No, I just want to get through this.
Elliot, please don't do that.
Yeah.
Hey.
Please don't
You
do
know.
that.
Well, besides Halo, what else have you been doing on your streams?
Stop.
Well, been doing Elite Dangerous since Fleet Carriers came out last week, so I have a big mobile command chip. I'm happy. But the regulars, a little bit of Warzone, a little bit of Forza, a little bit of Titanfall, a little bit of Gears. I'm thinking once I am done with the Halo series, I'm going to do actually go through the Redux version of Secret of Mana.
Ooh,
So
nice.
I think that'll be my next venture.
Yeah. I know you expressed interest too because you were watching me play Uncharted Lost Legacy and going through the Uncharted games.
Yeah, I do not have them downloaded. I didn't get them when they were on PSN. It was probably during that 3 or 4 month hiatus from PSN. So
Yeah, I think it was a while back, but I think like during like when COVID hit big, they offered it as free. But I think it was just a limited time thing. I don't think it was like it was yours to keep. It was just free to play.
Right.
Although if you ever decide to get them, like they're so relatively cheap now. Like I think a used place would sell it to you for like $10-15 for the entire collection. For the first 3 games anyway. 4 is still relatively cheap because there were so many bundles that came with 4 that I imagine a bunch of GameStops are probably overflowing with those games. You can probably get it for like $5-10.
Right.
So, Jimbo, what's been happening with you, man? Last couple weeks.
Nothing much. Just continuing to play video games, and whether it's multiplayer or single player, just kind of hang around. If it's whether it's running through Apex, trying to get them treasure packs to then do all that side quest stuff, or just kind of hanging around.
Side quests in Apex.
Well, not the side quest. It's like the PVE thing that they've done with the season 5.
Oh, okay. So like get X amount of kills with a Mozambique or something like that.
Kind of. It's where you can pick up a treasure pack a day, and then it unlock. The more you pick up, I think you have to pick up like 4 or 5 to unlock like a quest or an episode that you play through. Usually, it takes about 10 minutes at most to play through the thing, and then you get a little cutscene, a little story, and it's building to you building something, which I'm assuming is a Revenant's head, but that's to be determined later because they haven't released everything just yet. I think they did this when Claire played the other day, or when Robe. I think it was when Claire played. They did a little bit of it with Robe to kind of introduce him to it. It's a nice little side thing. Just it's one of those things that it's nice to have just a little bit of like PVE or single player stuff, or in a game that's multiplayer. We don't need a full story. Just tease us with a little bit of it because. While we know that it's a straight multiplayer game, also Apex, I implore you, please, private matches. God, I would love to host a G1 Gamedays of straight private matches.
Because like the game days we generally do, you can't, we'll have to swap people out, but it's only trios. There's nothing higher than that.
Yeah. Also, I've been running through a little bit of the campaign of Battlefront 2. And got the Star Wars, the Spider-Man DLC ready to go for when I decide to play that again.
Nice. That's actually on my docket for playthroughs is to do the Battlefront 2 campaign.
It's enjoyable. It's I have it on the whatever the normal difficulty is. It's pretty fun. And as well, one of the last things I've been playing for the last couple of weeks, besides destroying my mental state in our Mario challenge a couple of weeks ago or last week, was just going back and playing some MLB The Show 19, just to fill that sports ball gap since no sports ball right now, and baseball is probably not going to come back this year because money.
Yeah, by the time they start like lifting up enough restrictions, I'd probably be by the time postseason happens. I can imagine.
There's like multiple proposals sent between the owners and the Players Association, and they're getting closer, but it's still nowhere near where they need to be because it's basically it comes down to the players want paid for their full season salary. The owners know that they're going to lose money if they do that because obviously they can't have full stadiums to support that. It's going to be a shortened season no matter what at this point.
Yeah.
And so there's all the finer key points and all that stuff that comes with it. But I doubt we'll see baseball this year. I'd be surprised if we do. But
Yeah,
the almighty dollar.
because like if they even go ahead with it and they want to keep like the mandate, okay, we have to test everyone before they come in. By the time they get everyone in, it'll be like too late to do a game.
Yeah.
Like, have you heard of the other shit show that has been WWE and what happened since Monday?
Mm-hmm.
Have one of their developmental wrestlers, someone that's not even on television, test positive, and like they're still going ahead with tapings. They did a taping tonight,
Yeah,
but like it took employees 3 hours to make sure that they're tested negative and then get into the building to do the show.
Yeah, in all honesty, it's going to come down to where they're going to centralize. Excuse me, they're going to centralize everybody in like kind of like how the NBA and NHL have kind of started to propose it. Well, they'll pick a central area, like let's say for example Arizona, or where spring training would happen, and they'll just play the games there. So it's all condensed. Nobody's you don't have too much outside interference from people going home and all that. Because the NBA is going to be, when they start back up as projected, they're going to have all the games in the Disney World resort area, because they got a nice complex down there. And then apparently, from what I've heard, the NHL is going to be in Vegas. So
yeah, we'll have to wait and see because I think didn't Florida say they had like one of the biggest one-day jumps, and it was like 2 weeks after lifting restrictions because everyone was going to water parks and beaches. It's just like, well, that's what you get.
Yep, looking at one of our fellow G1s, Big Boss and Moss's Twitter, just looking at all that is very disheartening.
Well, I mean, it's I live in a beach town. We've seen stuff open back up, and a lot of a lot of places that my wife and I like to go for like dinner and stuff, already shut back down.
That's
already shut back down. Yeah,
around here, they're opened, but people are still kind of cautious. I'm seeing it slowly start to build. Like right now, like I'm looking at my mall, and the parking lot's looking to get fuller and fuller, but half the stores are still closed, and maybe about a third of them are only letting you in if you know exactly what you want. Like my EB Games, it's like there's no browsing. It's like, what do you want? Well, I don't know. I don't know what you have. Well, leave. Like, they will not let anyone just casually browse and maybe like, oh, that's a good game. Maybe I'll pick that up because I don't know what I want. Half the time I go into stores, I'm just like, oh, that looks cool. Maybe I'll buy that. Yeah, I think I will buy that. Boom. And if I can't, boom, I just leave. But that's not the point. I have to probably like go in like a day early to my work and get like a crash course on all the rules and regulations and be like, okay, we're only allowing this many people here. Stay behind this, clean your station after this,
plexiglass and all.
Well, actually, no. We have, apparently there is no, from what I saw, there was no plexiglass. We have like these little tables that you can sit at, which will give you that distance. But even so, like I whenever I go in, I gotta tell them, look, I've got masks made up. I'm wearing them, just because like I don't want to fear someone knowing that I might spread something. I don't want to catch something because of my compromised immune system now. So
exactly
here, I want to go back to the Wordman said I was destroyed more from the Mario challenge. So I'll give you guys a little spoiler. Jimbo has said yes. Shiro has said yes. I still need an okay from Patrick, but if I get an okay from Patrick, we are going to continue the Super Mario Challenge next Saturday. Because we had a hell of a time doing that. It was a ton of fun. I'm going to give you guys the official standings again. So I have beaten 1 and 2. I'm currently in the middle of 3 on no warps. And I've had 1 hard reset on me. So my reset would be 75 if you were to do it again. Jimbo has 0. He's still on 1.
Yep.
Debaser beat 1 for the very first time in his life. He's never beaten Mario Brothers 1. So that was kind of an accomplishment. On to Shiro, with the generosity of Lena, got Swippy Swappied so he could switch his game out midway. So he went to 3, beat that, and he's back on 1. But all 3 of those guys still have their initial hard reset set. Mine's still on the first one. So, or sorry, I've already got one on me. So, will someone be evil and hard to reset me again? Will they help out everyone else? Will they hinder everyone else? I don't know. You'll have to find out in 2 weeks. But man, like the Mario challenge was so much fun. I thought I was gonna have problems with Mario 2 because I hadn't practiced it in a long time. But like I'm just like zipping through it with no warps. It's like, holy shit, I remember more about this game than I thought. But I do agree with Shiro, though. We will have a fifth person in to kind of help moderate things and keep an eye on chat and donations, because like I'm trying to play to win at the same time as trying to keep eye on the alerts and all that. So we're looking for someone like that. I already know, Eric, you're out because you usually work on Saturdays.
Yeah.
Woody kind of, doesn't stay up too late, so we'll have to find someone. I'll put it out there to the host or maybe one of the mods if you can stay up and want to help mediate things and keep us in check. Let me know. As for my last couple weeks there, Melanie and I have been getting out more often now that stores are starting to open up more. So we've been trying to support our local businesses. Went and bought a few things. I found I don't think it was out on Blu-ray, but I found on DVD the Far Cry movie, because we got add that to the list at some point.
Oof.
That's the first Uwe Boll movie I've ever owned. I've never owned any of his previous works like Alone in the Dark or Blood Rain or Dungeon Siege. Actually, it's just called The Name of the King, a Dungeon Siege tale. So that'll be interesting. And Wordman saying starring Craig and Tom. No, not starring Craig and Tom, because their scenes got cut.
Heyo.
Whenever we get to it, I'll eventually talk about it. But for what I played through Chrono Trigger. Loved it.
Yay.
I can definitely see why it's probably one of the most highly regarded RPGs ever. It's such a simple RPG too.
It is.
Yeah, it's so simple. Took me about 19-20 hours to beat it.
I'll tell you what, I would love to see them do, the same love that they did Secret of Mana. I would love for them to do to Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, I knew
I
somebody
really
on
would.
the PC was working on like a 3D
Yeah.
upscale, and then of course Square's like, nope. If they had just said, hey, it's out, it's done. It's like Wooly says, you can't DMCA fun. And you can't DMCA something that's already out there.
No, don't do that, please.
I'm sure you can sue the hell out of the person who made it, but just be like, hey, I deleted it off my own server, but the internet's got it now. I can't do nothing about it. What else did I play? Oh, played Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow, the DS game, the sequel to Aria of Sorrow. Fantastic, love that game. And I got a quality of life mod to the ROM I use. So in the game, after you beat the boss, you're supposed to look down on your touchscreen on your DS and with your stylus draw like a pentagraph symbol, and that kills the boss. But who the fuck can do that on an emulator? Like, I gotta use my mouse hand and click all around. So there's a mod that you can patch in that will just do the drawings for you. So I was like, get the last hit on the boss, boom, done. So I played through that. And now I'm starting up Uncharted Lost Legacy, which has been on my back burner for a while there. I love the Uncharted series. It's basically like Uncharted 1, which has a little bit more open world aspect to the main part. But I've got this feeling that open worldness, like that open, is only that first bit. Because, like, they gave you that warning after you do the magic number of threes, which, by the way, Chloe's character calls that out in a puzzle. She's just like, oh, it's always 3. Like, why is that? Oh, I don't know. Stuff just comes in 3s. I was just like... It's like Darksiders 3 where the horsewoman goes. It's like, oh, it's always 3. It's like, game designers are getting lazy. I'd love it to do the rule of 3, and then all of a sudden it's like, ah, here's the 4th one. It's like, what? Haha, rule 3, rule broken, bitches. Yeah. But I'm probably gonna finish that up tomorrow. I have no idea what I'm playing Friday night with Melanie because it is our date night. I'm thinking maybe start Lego City Undercover. So I bought that on sale, and it's been a while since we played a Lego game. Eric looks very distracted.
Sorry, I am a little bit. Hi.
Hi.
What were you saying?
Lego.
Eric, pay attention to us.
Sorry, my bad.
I've got cheese.
Oh, well, I'm in.
Johnny.
Oh,
I'm
dear
making
Lord.
Johnny
Oh,
question.
dear Lord. Yep.
Questionable.
Another thing I gotta do though is I'm still working out my Canada Day stream in a couple weeks, where I'm just gonna drink beer and talk about all things Canadian.
So Molson Ice and pepperoni sticks.
Molson Ice, gross. Oh,
Yeah, I gotta agree. That's
Get yourself some Molsons and some moose chips, eh?
yeah. I guess I should get some Alexander Keiths or Molson Canadians because
I was gonna
Just have some Letterkenny playing in the background.
with some Celine
to be
Dion.
fair,
To be fair.
the last 20% is mostly spit.
This conversation is about to become a confrontation.
I might make some pizza with Canadian bacon on it. Let's get everything Canadian. I'll douse myself in a Canadian flag. I'll have to go to my Dollarama and buy everything Canadian, I guess.
Call everybody that joins in on chat hosers.
Hey, what's going on, Ozer?
I gotta go that far, but mostly what I'm thinking is I'm gonna have a whole lot of like clips and images for like shows that I grew up on that were purely Canadian that maybe you guys never saw. Stuff that got transplanted, like Letterkenny and Trailer Park Boys, you know, like, and showing like the differences. So like you guys had Nickelodeon, I had YTV. And they saying show them reboot. Most of the mainframe stuff they got in the States. They got Reboot, they got Beast Wars, they got Beast Machines, they got War Planet, Shadow Raiders.
Yeah, we got all that.
Raid Shadow.
Yeah, like that's gonna be on there. Like Word Band's names and stuff too. Are You Afraid of the Dark? You can't do that on television. That was stuff that transplanted over as well. So, yeah, there'll be a lot of that. So they'll be on Canada Day, probably in the afternoon, evening. I also got a top 10 list of top 10 Canadian celebrities y'all can keep. So I'm gonna go through every Canadian celebrity that's done well in the States or worldwide. I'm like, you know what? Canada doesn't want them. You can keep them.
Yeah, you know what? I'll be there in that conversation with the tennis racket going, nope, return to return service.
I might have a Discord open as well for people to come in and talk about these things. So yeah, look forward to that. Canada Day, July 1st. I see the chat talking about the Donkey Kong Country cartoon. Yes, that will be on there because it was made in French Canada.
Quebec.
That's why their lips don't match their dialogue, because it was made for a French audience, not. Which it's weird that a character made by Nintendo Japan was made by Rare, a UK company, but the cartoon was made in Canada, but in Quebec for French.
And the moral of that timeline is there's great fishing in Quebec.
Fucking hate Quebec.
Get this guy a puppers.
Get you fucking puppers.
All right. Well, that's been our weeks, guys. It is time to
Moving on.
Yeah, moving on. We got a lot to talk about, especially for our first story. It's time to get into Dun News.
Beep boop 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 boop.
And that new sound effect there. So, yeah. So the big thing is that all them crybabies about the PlayStation 5 reveal getting canceled. You only had to wait a week because it just came out on the 11th. So,
How
big
dare you
reveal.
ask me to be patient? This is the internet.
Yeah. So the PlayStation 5 officially revealed. I don't think I'm gonna go over like the hardware at first. They got this all out of order, but The first thing
Yeah,
they show,
router today.
the first thing in this historic PS5 event is we're porting a 8-year-old game from 2 console generations ago. Yay!
Hooray!
More GTA 5.
Eric's face is my face when it was announced.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm pretty sure we were all sitting there in the same chat, just like,
It's like enhanced and re-enhanced. It's like, how much more enhancement can this game get? Like, you slap
Unless
more
you-
textures?
I mean,
Cut-
you've seen
cut down
Super
on load time.
Troopers. I mean, it's just enhance.
Still, I mean, unless you're telling me that it's going to cut down way on the load times between startup of the game and actually playing it, then okay.
Don't care.
So-
Yeah. Like, I've said this on chat, man, like, no offense to the last Wednesdays of the month, but man, I'm so done with GTA. I am going to participate in the RP because that was the stretch goal. But, like, I'm probably going to do the campaign on my channel because I haven't done it before on the channel. And then I'm uninstalling it, never touching it again. It's just, I don't have fun with this anymore. Like,
No, I mean, the only time I really do have fun with it is the game day. It's the reason why I don't touch it any other day except the game day.
I mean, like Robe will occasionally do like just a pop-up stream just to try some of the heists or some new missions or whatever. But it's not a game I go, I got to play that. And even
Right.
so, some of my friends that I have on the some of my local friends have gotten it on the PS4, and we played it a good stretch for about like 2 months where we were playing it usually once a week.
mhm.
And eventually it's gotten to the point where it's like, yeah, we don't want to play GTA. Let's play one of the other hundreds of games we can all play together.
Right.
Now for PlayStation, they're trying to sweeten the deals for, like, if you log in every month on GTA 5 on PS4, they'll give you $1 million to go into your bank account to prep you up for the transfer over. But apparently, from what I've read as well, is that GTA Online will be its own separate app, its own separate entity, which at this point should anyway. Because when was the last time you booted up the single player on purpose?
Well, I booted up just to get it.
I booted up in single player to boot up online because
Yeah,
it boots online faster.
Oh, really?
I think so. Plus online, then you can go in and select your own custom lobby. Where if you just drop in online, it will.
Yeah,
send you
and
to
yeah, that's the other side of it.
Okay,
But
well,
if you're saying booted up to play single player, not since I beat the single player campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because like after you beat the game, like there's nothing left. It's not like GTA 4 when it's like, hey, here's 3 more story DLCs for you, or was it 2? No, it was just 2. Yeah, Lost in the
No,
Dam
it's-
today.
it's all the DLC is online.
Ballad of
Yeah.
Tony.
Yeah, you had Lost in the Damned and Ballad of Gay Tony.
Yeah.
For 4. Yeah, no, 5. It's like really if you want to get any additional story-based gameplay, you got to play it online.
And according to this too, Sony says that GTA Online will be free for all PlayStation 5 owners.
It already is. Unless you're talking like you won't have to buy GTA 5 period to get it.
That's just the thing. Like, what is the price going to be for this? Because like, if it's going to be full retail again, they can just fuck right off. Like, no
Right.
way am I paying full retail again for this game. Like, you make enough money off your microtransactions. I mean, Achievement Hunter probably drops a good $2,000 on you every month for this shit.
Gotta get that gold plane, bro.
But I don't know. Like that's a hard pass. Like that was the weakest thing of the whole thing. It's like, yeah, let's open up this brand new console coming out this holiday with an 8-year-old game.
I legitimately thought when I saw it, I was like, okay, they're going to tease a little bit of GTA 6, even though it's a good bit away. Oh, okay.
Right. And it's like, oh, look at that disappointment.
Yeah, there was like tons of streamers that like saw Rockstar and went, "Oh my god!" And then they saw Trevor and Franklin. They're like, "Oh."
Cue
It's
the
like-
music.
Everyone's got it on PC now because Epic Game Store gave that shit away for free.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's how we're gonna get away with doing RP.
Yeah.
Thank you, Epic, for helping us realize one of our stretch goals. By the way.
Yeah. So here was the first big announcement: Spider-Man Miles Morales, coming holiday, possibly at launch.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too because Spider-Man on PS4 was freaking
Still need to
awesome.
play it.
Oh yeah.
Now there was a lot of confusion too after this release because people were wording it as, oh, it's an expansion to Spider-Man. So it's like, wait, so I have to buy Spider-Man and this is something you're going to add to it? And like, oh, it's a standalone story. It's not Spider-Man 2. It's like, okay, what the fuck is it? It's like, is it a standalone game? Or they finally clarified that it is its own standalone game. Obviously not Spider-Man 2, but, you know, it's Miles' separate game. It's his own game. Will be as large
on the up and up.
Yeah. Will be as large and expansive as the other Spider-Man. We'll have to wait and see, but man, like looking at the trailer, like
Oh yeah.
I know this is mostly like the cinematic stuff, but like he's gonna have his invisibility powers, like
Shocky maybe.
Yeah.
There's a Shocky. I mean, you can't go wrong with it, especially building off of the Spider-Verse. How great the Spider-Verse movie was.
Yeah.
With Miles as the main character, and even that when they teased it in the Spider-Man game, you're like, okay, yep, I could see them for the second one making Miles Morales like a main character. They split it up, but I'm all down for this. I will plop down and take my money.
Yep. So this will lead into hopefully like when the Insomniac eventually makes Spider-Man 2, they give us the option to switch between Peter and Miles.
Yeah, especially with this, I think this might be the test. Like, oh, let's see how far, let's see if people actually want this, and of course we all do.
Yeah.
If you can make the second one a Spider-Verse style game, I'm all for it.
Well, I think for the second game at least they're going to have something that, well, you know what? Let me just stop right there. I'm not gonna say anything because I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't played it yet. Especially I think Wordman, he hasn't played it yet. Eric hasn't played it yet. Dave saying in the chat, am I the only one who wants to see this bundled with Spider-Verse digitally? That might be a cool thing for them to be like, hey, you get this, you get a digital copy of Into the Spider-Verse. More people can see it. And what was next? I mean, this, if you're a racing fan, this is kind of cool. Oh, get the music out of there. I'm gonna get flagged. I mean, Gran Turismo games has always looked pretty.
They've always looked pretty. The issue with Gran Turismo, now I can chime in because it's something I just...
No, you know what, Eric? I'm going to talk over you.
Oh. Well, fine.
Okay.
No, it's, it's... I mean, I grew up playing the Gran Turismo games. Those were, like, my racing games. And really, as far as getting that balance of gameplay and looks, I'll still attest Gran Turismo 3 Apex was about as good as they got. After that, they couldn't compete with Forza, and Forza came on the scene and has just dominated simulation racing. Since then. And there's a reason why I do a Forza Friday every Friday. It just Gran Turismo that, like I got excited for 6. 6 almost made me get the PSVR. And then I found out what they did with it. With the VR and that. And I'm like, if I can't use VR on the whole thing, I don't want it. And then I actually got my hands on it. I'm like, okay, it handled okay, but again, they've lost that balance. They've lost that touch. So
they've lost that love and feeling.
Yes, they've lost. Thank you, honey.
You lost
love and feeling. We're gonna get flagged on Twitch now. We sung a song.
If they flag us for that, then I'd be
I mean, Gran Turismo 7. It looked pretty. It's a racing game.
It,
What more
it
can you
looks
say?
pretty. It's not enough to make me actually get.
I
It's
will
not
say
enough
though.
to make me even.
I will say though. I don't know if you can actually still get the game. Well, I know you can't digitally. I think Drive Club. They took that off PlayStation. I think you can get Drive Club VR though. It was a separate game for VR headsets. I tried the demo of it. It was actually not bad.
So, but yeah, no, again, Gran Turismo has never had the problem of looking bad.
No.
Gran Turismo has always looked very, very, has always looked, just as pretty as Forza.
Yeah.
But they just, the balance, their gameplay balance is just not there. It's not on that level that Forza's at.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So we got no trailer on this on Polygon site here but there's a new Ratchet and Clank from Insomniac. This one's dealing with rifts in maybe the multiverse because Clank gets separated from Ratchet and meets up with the female Lombax, and of course the internet. I think it was Clay or Malice tweeted out on Twitter saying that. Do you hear that? It's the sound of 1,000 Wacom tablets powering up, ready to draw fan art.
No, you know what? I watched because I never really got into Ratchet and Clank. So my response to it was, okay, it's cute, looks cute.
They're fun platformers. I've through my sub games on my channel, Silent Hero has always recommended to play those games and sit on and chat with those. We played through Tools of Destruction, Crack in Time. I think that was it. I think we've only done 2 so far. And then this one started to give me happy feelings in my pants because it said Square Enix, and then something about She Will Rise, and I yelled out, "Honey, get in here! I think they're announcing a new Tomb Raider!" But it was just Project Atha. I'm like, nope. If it was a Tomb Raider game, Melanie would have hit the nut button several times. We got something
I'm
called
interested in this
Stray, where
like, the more little nuggets of information I've gotten on this game, I'm interested in this one. So because apparently the premise of the game is you play a stray cat that has to problem solve throughout the city.
I mean, until I see gameplay for it, like, here's like 90% of these were not gameplay videos. No. Of course not. Like, so you gotta temper some expectations, but it's an interesting concept. This next one, Returnal. No trailer for that. Looks like it could be kind of like a Metroid-ish type game, where you're just going from back and forth because you're like grabbing new weapons to get to this area. Now you're like, but you're dying here and there. Yeah. Sackboy Big Adventure, which we've dubbed in chat Sackboy Odyssey.
Yeah.
It's the first time that he'll have his own dedicated platformer with levels that don't consist of giant penises because they weren't made by.
Right. Well, again, I never got into Little Big Planet, so
I played a little bit of it. I'm like, it's.
It was my second choice when Sony got hacked back in the PS3 days. So
yeah, same here. And then here's the one that everyone's like, I really like to support it, but Bethesda.
Right.
It's the one where this was the only good thing. This is the only good thing about their conference from, I want to say, last year. Could have had I know I don't know her name. I can try and butcher it, but it's the one. She's like, it's spooky. Like, it's like, oh, a cute little Japanese girl. We can't be mad. And then they're like, bring out the other guys. It's like, yeah, we put a battle royale in Fallout 76. Yeah, woo!
Bring out Andrew WK. Time to party.
And now comes Todd Howard to tell you lies.
Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies.
I'm guessing it's like I still don't know enough about this. Like, you're in Japan and like it's like Left Behind, well, maybe. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's hitting me on the not on the same level of Death Stranding as far as gameplay, just on the I'm not sure what it is level
Right.
as Death Stranding did. Like for the longest time I had no idea what that was until I saw gameplay of it.
Hitman 3.
I'm intrigued.
Didn't play the other ones to the reboot, but let's see. A few people
That
in my
one-
chat flipped out for a Demon Souls remaster.
Yeah.
At first, I was just like, I don't know what this is. It looks pretty, and then when like images started showing up, I think it was like someone's dead body upside down being carried. They're like, "Oh my god, let's go!" Like, I don't know. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Like, I tried Demon Souls out once. I don't know.
I mean,
Death.
it's
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's on the it's you can't obviously with the Demon Souls, Dark Souls, Bloodborne type games, you can't like play it and then just give it up. You got to give it some time and obviously reach out to someone who's played it before as well so they can kind of help you. A la when Tom played it and had Clay and Kelly helping him through it.
Mm.
This one looked interesting.
Deathloop, yeah. I'm kind of curious as if it's like, do you have to go through the entire game in one go to take out all your targets, and if you die once, you have to start all over again, or is like every like hitman you take out is like a checkpoint?
That'll be intriguing. Because I would imagine nobody's going to want to play that game, and it's
Yeah, I would imagine it's like play through the entire game without dying, like hardcore mode. That'd be like a hardcore mode.
Yeah.
That's the way I'd see that.
And they ended it with a Horizon Zero Dawn sequel.
Another one that I need to play.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's on my list too. Actually, it's on my current list. I've got a couple other things in the pipeline, like me and Jimbo going through Saints Row 2.
Yeah, the last serious one before they got silly in 3.
Yeah. Which reminds me, we haven't done Gat Out of Hell, or is Gat Out of Hell?
I mean, if you want to do it, I'm up for it. The problem is it's not a great game, and also it's kind of a quick game. But if you want to do it some night, I'm down for it.
Hey.
Now the question would be, would you want to be Kenzie or Johnny? Because those are the two playable characters. You're not creating a separate, a boss.
I know. We'll talk. We'll do lunch. Hey, so, we also missed out Resident Evil 8 Village, which I'm all for, because RE7 was fantastic. I'm a little worried, though, because I don't think this is going to hit its expected release date, because the frame rate when you meet the old man with the shoddy was, like, really, really bad. Now, here, there's no talk of VR, because I want to experience at least some of that game in VR, because Resident Evil 7 in VR freaked the fuck out of me. There's the clips to prove it, but
I think it did for everybody.
Yeah. But we'll have to wait and see. It looks like it's picking up where the last one left off. You're still Ethan, and Chris is with you now. But he put on a lot of weight since the end of 7.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Skosh.
I don't know if he's into boulder punching mode, but
let's see. I don't know if you got it on that list there, but there was Destruction's Arena.
Yeah, that wasn't on there. Destruction All-Stars.
Or Destruction All-Stars.
Yeah.
Looked like an interesting, like, Destruction Derby meets Rocket League meets what?
Potential game day.
Yeah, that one kind of piqued my interests a little bit.
Yeah.
And that one I did read up is a PS5 exclusive.
Yeah.
So
I don't think this Polygon article has. Yeah, it doesn't have everything, unfortunately. It's just like the top hits.
Yeah.
Then we gotta look at the actual console itself. So this is the
your Wi-Fi router that I'll be ordering. I mean, what?
No, that's Cell's head.
No, it's Cloud Sword. It's Hard Edge.
No, that's just,
I didn't see that one, but that's a good one.
It's
just-
it's Seto Kaiba.
there you go. They just put a piece of flex tape over a box, and there you go.
So they're gonna come out with 2 different SKUs. This is the first one with the optical drive, and then they're gonna release an all digital version, which Sony has not done before. Xbox kind of beats into the punch this generation with the Xbox One SAD, is what they call it. Because it's the Xbox One S all digital.
Yeah, I think if/when I get that, I'll probably just end up with the all digital one. So, because anytime they've done like an all digital console, it's always been like even if it's like $50 less, it's generally cheaper.
It boils down to your preference. Do you like owning the games and supporting, as our friend Tom would say, supporting
physical releases and supporting the preservation of games media? I have to wait and see what their official stance is on backwards compatibility. This generation, I've pretty much am 20 to 30% physical, and like I'm pretty much on Xbox, like mostly digital. The Switch, I think I've got like 6 cartridges. The rest are digital, which knowing that is like a pain in the butt. PS4, I think I've got like 7 physical games, and the rest are digital. So, I think next console. Because here's the thing: like, as soon as I pick up a game, whether it be brand new or when it goes on sale, can't refund that digitally. And if I end up wanting to sell it, like, I found that this generation, it's been really hard to try and sell physical games, and there's not a whole heck of a lot of them, or of any variety at used stores now. So I might go all digital this generation.
Yeah,
coming up.
I can count on one hand how many discs I actually have between my Xbox and my PlayStation.
You got the disc.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, one of the things I did is that I got Monster Hunter World when I got my Xbox One X, because that was the current deal going on.
Right.
When then Melanie started expressing interest in playing, we were trying to figure out, okay, can we play this together? And then I figured out, it's like, well, if I had the disc in here, I'd have it installed here. I think it was on Game Pass, and that's how that worked. So, like, I had Game Pass on that, and then when it got off of Game Pass, I was like, shit, what do we do? I waited until it was on super duper cheap, like $15 or something. I was like, you know what? Let me just buy it digitally. We'll go trade that in somewhere, and then we can both play it at the same time, because I have that Xbox Live share function with her, so she can play my games on the other Xbox or the home Xbox or whatnot. Although that didn't last very long because we kind of fell off of Monster Hunter World, but
yeah,
it makes for stuff like that where, like, if we want to play something co-op like that, all I have to do is just bring down that other Xbox One I have, the little monitor she now has in her office, and just hook it up in here, and we don't have to be in separate rooms to play. So
there you go.
So we'll have to wait and see. That was the funny thing, is that and there's a minibus.
Oh, the cutest part of this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to do the voice.
Oh, I think the mic's muted.
Yeah, because I think minibus is going to bed. So Eric's pushing him like, "Hey, you ready to go to bed?"
Oh, you did. Oh, God, I didn't have. I had it.
Can I kiss my head?
Yeah, I kiss your head. Can you say goodnight, Jimbo?
Good night, Shama.
Good night, minibus.
Can you say goodnight, Johnny?
Good night, Johnny.
Good night, Elliot.
Can you say goodnight, G1s?
Good night, Shima.
Yeah.
All right, give me a kiss. Thank you.
Aw.
Go.
That was cute.
And the internet just broke.
Yep. All that cuteness.
Right.
Day, you're asking in chat. That is who we refer to as minibus. That's short bus Eric's little one.
That would be the love and joy and the bane of my existence, depending on the day. Today it was the bane of my existence. Yesterday it was my love and joy. So
Tomorrow it'll be
tomorrow, who knows?
Tune into the stream.
But Friday will be yay because he's going to
Friday.
need lots.
You know what I'm gonna do, Eric? Is I'm gonna place speakers around your apartment and then just have recordings of anybody saying, "I paid."
That's great.
Like, I got pee. That's great. You don't need me. Go.
Take your underwear off.
The toilet is right there.
Thank you, thank you, Birdman.
Uh,
But
yes.
yeah, I mean, my take on it is, I like where they're starting from, as far as their game selections, but like really, and I will freely acknowledge that I'm biased toward Xbox. I am.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
no, you don't say, right? So I like what I'm seeing, but not enough to make me go, I must have this.
yeah.
So
Same.
Yeah.
Nothing that says launch must get.
It won't be
Right.
day one for me, especially with they didn't announce a price
Right.
because
they're waiting to find out. They're waiting for Microsoft.
and they're also waiting for what's going to happen with the world. It also maybe this isn't going to come out at Christmas time. COVID
Smart
might yeah, because like rumor going around is that I don't have the image, but there was a Play Asia sighting for pre-orders of it, and it translated to $699 US, perhaps.
Yeah, that's something that I had heard.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, you can write the fuck off.
Yeah, and that's the thing too is that for me is that's $699 US. In Canada, that probably translates to $899 US.
Yeah,
Which means
no.
taxes in, I'm looking at close to $1,000.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. So until they get more info about like backwards, here's the thing: like, if I was a bigger influencer, whether it's on YouTube or Twitter or Twitch or something like that, it would be beneficial to me to get it at launch because maybe I could have the unboxing stream and go, look what's in there, let's hook it all up, and yeah, the first day streaming with the Xbox or the PS5 and I'm not that. I don't think we've bought a console day one. I think we waited 3-4 months for the Switch. I can't remember. So people in the chat are saying, yeah, fuck that, I could buy a desktop for that much. And two things that Donut is waiting for is price and backwards compatibility stuff.
Right. Well, I think we're all kind of waiting. I think we're all, with all three of those points, I think we're all kind of just, we're kind of in a holding pattern.
Yeah. And they haven't mentioned anything, too, about whether or not the PlayStation VR will be compatible with the system.
That is true.
Because
Also,
that's
the controller looks like a sports bra.
Yes, let's get. So going from PS5's reveal to more info about the Series X and as far as the smart delivery system. So what that is that it's their attempt to make sure that when you get the Series X, everything just works right away. So they put it here. It says, if you own Gears 5 and you own it with Game Pass, you play on Xbox One, and then when you pick up an Xbox Series X, all that goes over, and it gives you an optimized version for Gears 5. Because what they want to do is, with Xbox One, 360, and original Xbox games, they want to make them even better. Will that happen? We'll wait and see. But with stuff like Halo Infinite, there will be an Xbox One version and then a Series X version, just better graphics. But with the way that's going is, first party stuff is always going to have that smart delivery. So you get it on the old console because you can't afford the new one yet. When you upgrade to the new one, you get that upgraded version.
Mm-hmm.
Third party people are doing that as well. So CD Projekt Red is doing that with Cyberpunk 2077. Because obviously that's not going to be ready for the Xbox Series X. It's coming out on September 17th. So you buy the Xbox One version and then you buy a Series X, you'll get the Series X version. Now they've gotten a list of games that will work. That are already planned. So we have Halo Infinite, Cyberpunk 2077, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Destiny 2. So it looks like they're actually going to have, instead of just making a PS5 version, I think Destiny 2 is making a PS5 version, or are they just doing, because I think they said there's like a free upgrade or something.
Yeah, because if that's what I remember reading about it.
Yeah. So Dirt 5, Scarlet Nexus, Chorus, Vampire the Masquerade, Bloodlines 2, Yakuza 7, The Ascent, Call of the Sea, Gears 5, Second Extinction, whatever Metal Hell Slinger is. I've never heard of that before. So, on to the next one. Hey, remember that one company that was just like, yeah, we're all about smart delivery? To the first 3 months. If you don't pick it up then, you got to pay full price again. Apparently, there was so much outrage that EA changed their policy. So if you buy Madden on the Xbox One, you'll get the Series X version until the next game.
Yep.
Yeah. So
All right, well, that makes sense.
not on 100. But here's the thing too: is like you're not gonna if you pick up like Madden 2020 or 2022, like. And you want to say, oh, we'll go back and play 21. Like, it doesn't matter if you're going to get the Series X version. Like,
yeah.
I mean, at least a year is better than 3 months. But by the time the year is up, that game will be super cheap. And then you get the free upgrade for it anyway, right?
That is correct.
But I mean, by then, the pricing should be the same. I don't know.
That's another thing I haven't really heard, is that we haven't heard what the prices for games are going to be on those consoles, unless I unless it skipped over me and I didn't hear it originally. But
as far as I know, there's no changes. I mean, God, if the brand new AAA title games here in Canada are like $80, if they go even higher than that, then watch me march on Capitol Hill with a pitchfork stuck to a hockey stick, telling Trudeau, "Oh wait, no, I have to go to Trudeau's house because Trudeau doesn't leave his house." Go to Trudeau's house and be like, "Hey,
you can't fight
fix the dollar."
All right.
Wordman makes the point. I mean, we've had this discussion before on the podcast. He asked, "How can you tweak sports ball year after year?" You can't.
You can't.
It's
No, you really can't.
The NFL, the MLB, and the NBA, WWE are mandating that you have to have a new game every single year. Now, 2K is bucking this trend because 2K20 was such a shit show. They're not doing 2K21.
Yep.
And it was such a shit show. Did you see this, Jimbo?
Mm-hmm.
Christian's backstage interview. They had normally they have like framed pictures of like pay-per-views or whatever they're advertising. They had a poster of 2K19 Deluxe Edition instead of 2K20.
Even they acknowledge how shit it was. Realistically, if sports ball games were optimized for consumers, it would be you'd have a game come out once every few years. They would release roster updates yearly. You'd pay like $10 to $20 for a roster update at the beginning of the new season.
DLC, and then
and then every few years they'd release a brand new game, so you could get, because especially with games like Madden and FIFA and such with the Ultimate Teams, they're making buku bucks on microtransactions. They don't necessarily need to release a new game every year because people are still going to buy those Ultimate Packs and whatever else goes on in those games. But realistically, they could put a new game out every 3 years, charge for a roster update once a year, and they'd be set. They'd still make money on microtransactions, and
there is another inherent problem too. And let's go back to WWE on this analogy: is that if they don't make a new game every year and they just tell you to keep buying the old one and then they update it with new roster members, they can't program out or remove wrestlers that have been released.
Yeah.
So if they are consistently. Yeah, but then you'll start pissing off people. It's like, I specifically bought that. Well, I mean, no one's probably going to say I specifically bought this for Zack Ryder. Or.
Yeah, but let's be honest. At the end of the day, it's like, yes, okay, great. This guy got fired, and he gets hot fixed out. yeah, you're gonna have people. A percentage of people are gonna be pissed, but at the end of the day, they're still gonna play the damn game.
Can't be as bad as
But the thing though is that these guys have contracts specifically for like licensing and
Yeah.
merchandising rights. So if you continually try to sell the same game, it's like the mass firing that happened in April. So you got like Zack Ryder, Kurt Hawkins. Let's use those two for example. If they keep if they just kept that game on the shelves selling and just with roster updates, anyone who bought that game, even if they still don't work for the company, the company still has to send them some type of likeness a royalty check. That's kind of why the reason is that as soon as somebody's releasing the company, they're never mentioned on television again. Even if like they're a multi-time champion and like probably like sold them all this stuff, as soon as they're gone from the company, it's like they never existed. Because every time they say their name or show an image of them, they have to cut them some type of check. I think I found that out from like the Dudleys.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like they were getting, whenever they brought them up, even though they were in TNA, whenever they brought them up in like network stuff or like all these pay-per-views, he's like, I'm getting a fat check from WWE right now. That's pretty sweet.
Hmm.
Yeah. So it's a very, very, very
It's a fine line, but you know what? At that point, you modify the contract that they sign for likeness and be like, listen, if you're terminated, your contract is terminated with this as well. I mean, it's not something that, from a legality standpoint, it's not something terribly hard to write in a clause.
But those contracts are pretty sweet, and I know a lot of people scoff at the whole 90-day no-compete clause, but here's the thing. They get paid within that time frame.
Yeah.
90-day no-compete means that you can't compete, or you can't compete for a company that has a national television product, but like to offset that of that lost income that you would have made if you just start taking indie bookings, or like, oh, I'm going to debut on Impact or AEW, they just pay that to you. So it's like, just stay off television for 3 months, because they don't want, and it kind of sucks because they don't want what happened in the 90s to happen again, where guys would just show up. It's just like, hey, he was just on WWF this Saturday. What's he doing here? Kind of takes the magic out of it.
Yeah.
Kind of got off track on that. We're just talking about. But yeah, EA, good on you. At least keeping it for a year, not 3 months for your transfer program.
Your product is still shit. Moving on.
Up next, Arcade 1-Up had a little announcement, and I can't believe out of all the games they got the rights to these ones. Oh, that's loud. And that's an ad for Last of Us 2. I gotta scroll down so that nothing gets spoiled. But yeah, they announced 2 new arcade cabinets with a bunch of games that a lot of them never saw a home release, and a lot of them have been stuck in like legal troubles. So there's gonna be a X-Men cabinet and a MVC cabinet. Ooh. So the X-Men versus Street Fighter one will have obviously X-Men versus Street Fighter, Marvel versus Capcom, X-Men Children of the Atom, and the Super Nintendo beat 'em up X-Men Mutant Apocalypse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And on the reverse of that, the MVC cabinet will have MVC, Marvel Superheroes, X-Men versus Street Fighter, Marvel versus Street Fighter, and Marvel Superhero War of the Gems, the Super Nintendo beat 'em up, which is the same as the Mutant Apocalypse. This is unprecedented because for the longest time, everything's been in rights hell because X-Men was owned by Fox.
Yep.
So you couldn't release any of these games on any type of service. Now, Marvel vs. Capcom's different. Like, everyone's like, well, Wolverine and Rogue and Cyclops are in that. What's the big deal? It's like, yes, the characters are in there, but not the X-Men logo. So it's a little wonky. But I imagine these things are going to go for a hefty price. I think they're around like $500 or so with the risers. But man, they just look so gorgeous. I've already been told I am not allowed to have one because we have no place to put it. I have plenty of places to put it. I don't know what she's talking about, but that's a story for another day.
I will make space for it.
So the thing that sucks with arcade, the one thing that sucks with Arcade 1-Up, at least here, is that my Walmart and Toys R Us really get in a variety of games. Like when these first launched, we had the Street Fighter cab and the Centipede cab, and then we had one Pac-Man cabinet, and that was it. Toys R Us still has the Pac-Man cab, but they want like $600 for it. I like $600 for 2 games? No. Solid Hero. Hey, we don't need a bed. I'll just stick this in the bedroom. We're fine.
Sleeps for the week.
Yeah. They also announced a Ms. Pac-Man cabinet for this as well, with like Galaxian and a couple of other Namco games on it. I really hope these sell well, because that will let Capcom know, hey, we want Marvel vs. Capcom.
Good versions.
Good versions, yeah. Hopefully this means that Capcom can, like, if there's high interest in this, Capcom can say, hey, here's a Versus Series compilation on Xbox One and PS4 and Switch. Go at it. Now, MVC2 could not be ported on here because it runs on a different board. Like, I've seen these boards on eBay, and I've seen actually one at my local record store because one was preparing one, and they're these big honking things, but it has such tight security on it that they're hard to emulate.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I guess I don't know how Backbone did MVC2 on 360, but man, if anything else, when the Series X starts taking off and Xbox starts getting back into the backwards compatibility business, because last year they were like, okay, we're going to put a halt to making new games backwards compatible because we're working on the new console. But as soon as the new console's out, we're going to start bringing older titles back in. I hope to God Capcom's like, all right, here's all the games back again, backwards compatible, go at it. Oh, you want this version of Third Strike on Xbox One? All right, fine, I guess. It's like, yes, the good version, please. Because apparently, like, the netcode on Third Strike is on the Anniversary Collection is trash.
That doesn't surprise me.
And
Capcom.
oh, this is from the actual website there. Yeah, I was going to see how much they were.
Excuse me.
Someone needs a tissue.
Someone needs a nap.
How much does Star Wars one? 500.
Ooh.
Okay, do they have prices on? Oh yeah, they announced a big Buck Hunter one as well. So they got the light gun. They're getting light gun games as well. That's pretty cool.
Nice.
MVC is not on the pre-order one, and there's no pricing on. All right. 2 more quick little ones before we get into the movie review. Holy shit! I thought this game was dead.
Nope.
Heroes of the Storm is getting May added to it.
Yay.
I'm like, I thought you guys abandoned this game. What hell? So yeah, May from Overwatch is getting added to Heroes of the Storm.
Nice. Perfect timing is this Friday we're gonna have Debaser hosting Overwatch and Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah, he's doing his filthy Genji streams.
Yep.
I'm not filthy Genji. You're filthy Genji.
Bro, is that it's one of those things that game companies like to do where they're like, hey, you forgot about this game? Well, here's some new shit for it.
Right.
Yeah. Honestly, it's a free to play game, but I stopped playing it like I played it hardcore for like a week because I wanted to get the Officer Diva skins.
Yeah.
And I think I wanted the Ani Genji skin as well, even though I don't play as Genji at all.
Right.
I'm trying to think. Oh, yeah, there was a conversation about how Overwatch and Apex, like, why don't they have universal logins so that your skins transfer over from game to game? Because
Yeah.
and also your levels and ranks too. Because, like, I've got all these skins for Apex, but my friends all play on PC, or I've got all this stuff for PC on Overwatch, but I also want to play with my friends on Xbox One as well.
Same, yeah.
Yeah. And to say they don't just make those games crossplay, why is it so hard to make like those crossplay? I already knew. I already knew the answer after I said it. It was just like, oh, mouse and keyboard superior to controller. We don't like auto aim stuff. I'm like, all right, fine. Just segregate the PC players from consoles. Still do that.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, May from Overwatch coming to Heroes of the Storm. Heroes of the Storm's not dead.
Isn't it though?
It's dead. Even if this comes out, it's still like I'm not going to see it jump up in numbers. Like,
no.
Look at when Valorant finally came out of beta, and it's like, hey, everyone can play. The numbers have not jumped up on.
You had
Twitch.
the initial. You had the initial push,
because I still keep channel 1 rolling in the background over here on Mixer every once in a while, and I do see a lot of Valorant streams. But I look at that game and I'm going,
Fredo's eyes. Look, everybody, it's Alfredo Diaz.
You can see my recommendeds. Let's take a look. Oh, Hardcore Mini Golf episode 1. Haven't finished that yet. Matt McWessels plays SNK versus Capcom Chaos. What happened with Street Fighter Cross Tekken on this DLC? That's what happened. Getting Grumps play Sonic Heroes. Something about Vince McMahon.
Good shit.
Another positive test demonstrates inability to face reality. Oh, yeah. It's just going to be Brian Alves going off on Vince. Which he should. You're fucking stupid there. And for the disclaimer, silent. AEW is stupid. Impact is stupid. Every wrestling company is stupid for still running during this lockdown. They should have just all closed up shop and called it a day.
Yep.
I know WWE. The reason WWE gets all the hate is because they are the company. They're the biggest target to go after. And all the stupid shit Vince has been doing lately. Do you blame them?
No, Vince is losing his mind.
Yeah. Final story, because this actually just got announced today. It's finally happening. We're getting Pokemon Snap 2, or new Pokemon Snap. Oop.
Yeah, that's when I saw the headline. I was like, is it a new Pokemon Snap game, or is it just a Pokemon Snap port?
Dem's new Pokemon there, so yep. It's a new game. So
Pikachu eat an apple. Pikachu.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that people were asking for is like, we're bringing back Pokemon Snap. Can we bring back Blockbuster so I can print off my pictures?
Oh god, that's a throwback that kids today wouldn't understand.
Oh, there's still that one. There's still that one Blockbuster opened up somewhere in the States there.
Alaska, I think. It's the last place I heard of one being open.
Yeah. Well, yeah, looks pretty enough. I mean, it's still in early development according to Nintendo, but
I'm all for it.
Yeah. Not actual gameplay of photos. Yeah, do you think?
Pika.
Yeah, under construction. Oh, the Jimbo's logo's blocking it, but under construction it says.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they announced some other stuff because today was the day that the DLC for Sword and Shield came out.
That is correct.
I know that because like half of the streamers that I watch are playing it right now. One of them still doing his Nuzlocke on that. It's like, really? You hold off on that Nuzlocke for a whole year? Although with that game, it's really hard to do Nuzlocke when everyone levels up at the same time. All right. Well, that's it for the news. Now it's time to go into that lovely segment we all are just waiting for every 2 weeks, aren't we?
Johnny makes host watch terrible video game movies.
Yes, it's time for Video Games, the Movie, the Game, the Review. And this week we are looking at another fighting game movie, D.O.A. Dead or Alive. Now, I'm only showing the poster because I am fearful that if I show any footage of the trailer here on Twitch, we could get taken down for inappropriate content. Which, I mean, they're pretty well covered up, but you never know with Twitch.
Right, nice. Yeah, it's...
So, I thought for the longest time that this was directed by the same director as Mortal Kombat, Paul W.S. Anderson.
Mhm.
It is not. It's directed by somebody else. However, Paul W.S. Anderson did produce it. So it's still, if you're thinking that, wow, this looks familiar, that's why. Like, it's got that same aesthetic and look to it.
And you see the star of Mortal Kombat in the first like 15 minutes, if I remember correctly.
Yes, Robin shows up for Tina's introduction. He leaves a bunch of pirates that try to take over her yacht, and then she just kicks their butts.
You mean I'm supposed to believe that Jamie Presley can beat up Robin Show? Fuck out of here.
Right.
So if there's like, they get most of the characters in here, but it focuses on the main. Well, not the main three, because they have whoever this non-Japanese person who's playing Ayane in here. But you've got, so this is supposed to be Kasumi. You got Jamie Presley as Tina Armstrong, and then I can't remember if she's like an Australian pop star. Her name's Holly Valance, and she plays Christy. Which, her introduction sequence, let's talk about that. Very well. I gotta say, for a lot of the choreography in this, like, there's a lot of wire work, but like, you know what? It's not bad.
No.
We've had worse.
It's passable.
Yeah. I mean,
the acting, on the other hand,
it was non-existent.
Yeah.
There was none.
Yeah.
Oh, and let me just say that the man that is telling Kasumi not to leave the temple because she'll become a shinobi, and then Ayane will have to come and kill her. That is Ryu Hayabusa from Ninja Gaiden. Because Ninja Gaiden and D.O.A. shared the same universe. So when you get to that part later in the movie where he's like breaking in, like, I was kind of humming Ninja Gaiden music to my head. I was like, I'm kind of doing retro SFX right now. I was like, can this work? I'm like, no. So they all get their introductions. They get these ninja stars that invite them to the D.O.A. tournament, and they're all on the plane. And then I think like the guy who steals the show a little bit is Kevin Nash as Bass Armstrong. Yes. Yep. So for those who don't know, Bass in the video game is supposed to be an amalgamation of Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage. So how fitting is it that the man that was at the forefront of the NWO with these two men in there is playing this character? And then also, thank you, Spoonie, from your review of this. I can't unsee it now. Is in this scene, there are so many continuity errors with the shots. So, like, he takes a drink with his right hand, and the next shot, it's in his other hand. Then it's back to this one. And then when Christy goes after her friend Max, she's behind him, and then in front of him. I'm like,
what happened?
What happened?
We need to reset the shot. How do we have it? We don't have any memory outside of 30 seconds. Well, fuck it. We'll just leave it as is.
I don't know. Ask the goldfish.
Yeah. So the whole premise of the movie is that they call the fighters over because Eric Roberts is the villain. Needs to record all of their.
Well, I mean, he was the villain in the Expendables, and we loved him for that too. Yeah.
Basically, his goal is like he wants like all their fighter data, so they inject them with these nanomachines and records their fights so that they can make like the ultimate weapon, which is just a pair of sunglasses. Nanomachines, son.
Right, it's a pair of goofy-looking sunglasses that predicts their movements.
Yeah, it's dumb fight after dumb fight after dumb fight. And what's kind of funny though is that when they're doing the fights and people are like the spectators are watching on, they have life bars. And they actually have like someone who does the approximation of the D.O.A. announcer, so it's like wiener. I was like, okay, that was a funny touch.
Yeah, so it really is just it's just an onset of nothing but, in some cases, really well choreographed fights, with hot women.
Yeah. Not as well endowed as their video game counterparts, but
yeah.
Some
looking at you, Katsumi.
Some boobles, some butts, and some camto. You think I'm joking, but there's
no, you're not. I watched the same movie you did.
There's a second plot where Max and Christy are like, she's still competing to like win the $10 million prize money, but they're like, I think there's a vault here, and I think Helena's got like the codes on her, so like take photos of her tattoos and see it. But like that's such a minuscule secondary plot that you almost forget that it's there because everyone's just focused on, okay, what's Eric Roberts really doing? And they're trying to find because the reason Kasumi's at D.O.A. is that she's trying to find her brother Hayane, which I recognized him when he shows up near the end.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who that is? That is Seraph from The Matrix Reloaded and Revolutions. The guy who fights Neo to lead him to the Oracle. He's just like, I had to know if you were the one.
And essentially kicks his ass.
Yeah. It's like, you don't truly know someone unless you fight them. Like I just asked.
Also, if you don't recognize Kasumi, it's because she was she was in Too Fast, Too Furious.
Not only that, she was also in Sin City.
Okay, question, because I've never seen. Does she go by a different name in Too Fast, Too Furious? Because her name's Devin Aoki,
right?
But I think I remember the poster said Devin Sawa.
No, she went by Devin Aoki.
Okay.
Let me IMDb it real quick.
Yeah. Or check the posters. Cause like I could have sworn that was her name.
Right.
The thing that kind of tricks your brain. Like as a kid, when I watched trailers and commercials for Hook, I could have sworn that the announcers accidentally flipped Bob Hoskin and Dustin Hoffman's names. So I always thought that Bob Hoskin was Dustin Hoffman and vice versa. I was like, yeah, I might be wrong on this.
Keep going. Still going.
Okay. Probably one of the funnier scenes is they pair up Bass and Tina together. Yeah. And Christy has to stay over because like her fight got wrecked. Leon versus Kazumi, which, oh my god. I watched a YouTuber used to be part of Channel Awesome called Chris Duckman. He did a review on this, and he's just like, "What is with the sound effects in this movie? Like, why does Christy have whips, like Matrix whips for her kicks? And why does Leon sound like you're reloading a weapon in GoldenEye?" And he's just like,
right.
I was like, "What's with the shotgun recoil?"
What the fuck was that?
Day saying that Devin Sawa was the dude from Final Destination Idle Hands.
Mm.
Yeah,
I'd say
it's
it's Aoki.
Okay, must be a stupid brain of mine.
Which silly stupid trivia that no one should really know. Her father is the founder of Benihana Hibachi restaurants.
Huh. Oh, that's Benny Hill.
Look at all those chickens.
Chickens.
The one thing I also found funny about this is that they get down to the final four, which is like the three main female protagonists and Ryo Hayabusa, and then they just give up on that. And it's like, oh, you're all captured, and I'm just gonna suck the energy out of your nano machines.
Or you get some O-face going on with some of them.
Yeah, they're like, but generally, well, I mean, it's not really hard to not spoil the movie, but they beat the bad guy. They they save the day. They all go off on their. But we gotta talk about this computer nerd Weatherby. Like, what the hell?
My name's Weatherby.
And there it is.
Yeah. So I've seen him, the guy who plays him, in a few other movies, in his TV shows and stuff, and he's not really typecast as the nerd in those programs. He tends to be either a jock or kind of an asshole. But the nerd thing, it was hard for me to picture him as an actual nerd when in those movies or TV shows. I've seen him he was the jock or the popular guy.
The one part that gets me too is that there's a part where he stops him from uploading because Eric Roberts is like, oh, I got all the data. Look at this technology of sunglasses that make you fight better. So I'm gonna send this to you, and it's like sending, and he hacks the thing, he does the computer things on his computer, and then he like goes to the FBI or CIA website, and he's like, "Hey, this guy's doing bad stuff. Come arrest him." Eric
CIA
Roberts comes in.
Yeah,
Eric Roberts comes
CIA.
in. Eric Roberts comes in, smashes his head to the keyboard, and there's like 3 keys stuck in his forehead. I'm like, you should be dead, dude. How are you getting
Yeah.
up and like, ugh, I'm gonna open up the pods. Ugh.
Hit enter.
At least knocked out. Like I think if I had 3 keys embedded in my head like that, I would probably be out like a light.
Yeah.
Or I'd be doing the voice.
Like McElroy hit Chris Pratt in the face of the keyboard and Wanted, and it spelled "fuck you," knocked him clear
Yeah.
out.
Lost a few
Remember that?
teeth. And, yep.
Okay, so final verdict on this movie.
Garbo.
It's dumb.
You know what?
It's not offensively bad. It's just it's a thing that happened.
I mean, what's our grading scale on this?
I don't know. I think as far as like a movie based on a video game, I think we've put Annihilation at the very bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, Noobs is below that.
I don't think this
I
is below
would put
either of those.
this.
No,
I would put this on the same level as like Street Fighter the movie.
Yeah.
It's dumb but harmless. It's
Maybe a
dumb but
little lower than.
harmless.
It's a little lower than Street Fighter just because of Raul Julia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you that one.
Yeah. If there was more Kevin Nash, I would be like,
Yeah, if he was in it for more than just a few scenes, I'd be like, all right, yeah, it's higher. But because people forget Kevin Nash is actually a decent comedian actor.
yeah. Go watch Longest Yard.
Why are we talking about your nipples?
No, he went to bed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's let's put it because what was the last movie that I did with you guys?
It was Street Fighter.
Was it Street Fighter?
I think so.
Yeah, it was Street Fighter. So because there was that, and then what? I did Super Mario with you.
Yeah.
I didn't feel my brain committing ritualistic suicide,
Akai.
and the only reason why was because it was along the lines of, all right, dude, the guns to my head, ooh, booty.
Hey, there's some camto. Oh, look, there's some boobies.
Oh, there's some booty. Yeah, so
especially like the standoff between Helena and Christy, and it's just like, here's this track shot of Helena's ass.
Oh,
Just
oh yeah,
enjoy
and
it.
you
It's
get-
just
yeah.
like,
Yeah, you get the thigh gap in there and everything with the rain pouring down.
right, yes, so wet bikini, fisticuffs.
and they also managed to fit in some extreme beach volleyball into it.
Oh yes,
Yeah, that made me. That's one thing we missed.
Yes, it made Dead or Alive beach volleyball.
It made it canon.
That just suddenly ended because a ninja star was thrown at the volleyball and it popped, and then Kasumi ran away. I got it.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Mom's calling. it's dinner time.
No Zach casinos.
Nah, that would have been the sequel.
But then you need to get Kenny from Yo Video Games to put everything on the roulette table on 21, and then yell 21. I won.
20.
Suck my dick.
20.
Yeah.
So, on a scale of oh my god to I'll give it a meh.
It's a meh. Yeah.
It's a
It
meh.
is a meh.
I mean,
It's
it's
been worse,
your
but
your life will be complete without watching it. But if you do happen to come across it, you're not going to have to kill yourself.
And the one of the main questions is too is like, does this follow the video game? I don't know.
yeah, I'm
Because
not
I don't know
up
if
on the
D.O.A. has a concurrent storyline.
I think it does.
Because half the time-
I don't remember.
Because half the time when I do the arcade runs with these characters, it's like this weird, like, I think for one of the Asian girls, like, she accidentally was dreaming of something on a train, and that the train jerked, like, too slow, and, like, she stumbled over, and an old man accidentally grabbed her titties, so he got kicked out of the train. and fell and plummeted to his death. The only
That
other
sounds
one I
right.
know is that if you beat 4 as Helena, she activates the self-destruct, and you see all the other characters that like, I have no idea what you're doing, but Aerosmith's Amazing's playing in the background, and this is an awesome cutscene. All right, well, that's it. DOA, it was a
Yeah.
thing.
It was a thing.
Take it or
DOA,
leave
my
it.
psyche was DOA when the movie started.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been worse.
It's just, I think it's the negative thing I have associated with Jamie Presley with in any action type movie. Like, if you haven't seen Torque, don't watch it. But I can't see her as like an action star. It's like meh.
All right, time for questions. So every couple of weeks we ask you guys to leave questions in our Discord, in the podcast question section, obviously.
Ask us questions. Ask
first-
us questions for the podcast.
It's letter time. It's letter time.
We just got.
They're singing songs. They're singing songs. I have no song to sing the songs.
The first one comes from our host, Jimbo Socks. Do Halo Spartans have testicles? Is this into response to
I don't know about
the
testicles,
Game
but
Day?
they definitely got some balls.
Yeah, I think it was either the game day or just playing through Warzone or something like that at some point throughout the last couple since the last podcast. It was a question I thought I was like, I'm gonna put it in the podcast questions in case I'm not on, and then it might get asked.
Donut asks, of all the Arkham games, A, which one's your favorite, and B, which is your least favorite? Probably me. Like, I liked Arkham Knight, but I didn't like the fact that the true ending was hidden behind 100% completion. Like, you had to do all the Riddler stuff.
Yeah.
Which I still not like. That's one of the things where I'm just like, sometimes I'll be like, fuck it, I'll watch the ending on YouTube. That's one of the ones I have not watched on YouTube. Like, I actually will do that for myself at some point.
Yeah, you know that. I was with you for that. Like when I did my run through all the Arkham series, that was the only game I 100%ed specifically to get that ending.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, and it really wasn't. Other than like one section I couldn't remember how to get there, really wasn't that hard to get all the Riddler trophies.
No.
But so I gotta go. Arkham Asylum still is my favorite. I love Arkham Asylum. I think it was the perfect kickstart to a great franchise. I would say Arkham. Yeah, what was it? Arkham, whatever the precursor was to
Origins?
Asylum. Yeah, Arkham Origins. Yeah, I never played it, so that's my least favorite one.
Well, for me, I'm putting Origins as least favorite just because I did play a good portion of it. I just never finished it. We'll go back and like start that over and try it and complete it. Not to necessarily say it's a bad game. It's just I don't know what happened. Something distracted me and I just lost interest maybe. But my favorite actually is Arkham City. Love Arkham City. Because it was nice, it was contained. Gotham City or Arkham Knight, it was expanded because you could actually do everything in Arkham, in Gotham this time.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, the Arkham Knight with the whole like 100%ing thing just kind of, It's not my least favorite, but like it's the only one I didn't 100%. What about you, Jibbo?
Well, Arkham City was really good. I think. Because I haven't beaten it, I haven't beaten Arkham City. Arkham Knight's my favorite as of right now. Haven't had a chance to play Origins just yet, so I'm not going to say it's my least favorite until I do. So I guess just Arkham Knight for the time being, because I'm also not a fan of leaving how do I get the perfect ending? Oh, you have to play the game 100% completion, and we're not going to tell you.
I got an idea of how it is, but Wordman says, what about Blackgate? Blackgate, I actually never played that, so
Same.
yeah.
I'm going based off.
I would
games
say
I have
mostly
played.
about like traditional the traditional style of Arkham games, because I think Blackgate is like it was a 3DS and then it turned into an Xbox Live Arcade, but it's mostly side scrolling. Monkish, off that question, ask, what superhero storyline would you want to make into a game, and what developer for it? Ooh,
that is
a good one. I mean, just based on their track record, I would say Rocksteady would be good for continuing it. Because like, do you want it like Arkham, where it's a lot of open world and like more exploratory stuff, or do you want something that's just like a straightforward,
right?
Campaign? There are several great stories that you could really make into. I almost said Civil War, but they actually technically did that with Marvel Ultimate Alliance too. That was that basically is Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm thinking back stories, Flashpoint would probably be pretty cool.
Oh yeah, go through his go play his father.
Either that or do the comic book rendition of Infinity Wars, not the MCU, because the comic book rendition is very different.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Very different. So that would be an interesting story to go through.
Like Wordman brought up Superman. I'm just trying to think of because technically, like Blizzard already did Death and Return of Superman on SNES and Genesis.
The problem is that with Superman, when you hear a Superman video game, what do you immediately go to?
64.
Exactly. And while the Injustice games have been great with their single player campaign or story mode in the fighting games, I wouldn't mind seeing like a Man of Steel like game for Superman, just maybe a little darker than your average. Hi, I'm Superman. I'm from another planet. I have superpowers. The milk toasty version of Superman. I wouldn't mind seeing a dark, not so much. What was the was it Brightburn?
Yeah.
I think that's what it was called.
Yeah.
Not something like that, but something.
Basically, when Ben Affleck says is there's a 1% chance, Brightburn is the 1% chance.
Yeah.
And it happens when he's little.
Happens when he's when he can be most influenced.
Yeah. Sound here said absolute carnage. You mean maximum carnage? Yeah. Superman Red Sun. Just for an excuse to Mr. Mixaplex. Technically, Wordman, he was in Superman Returns. The
Brandon Routh.
Yeah. Because who's Brandon Routh gonna fight in the Superman Returns video game? Cal Penn. Hey, look, it's Kumar. Attack him.
Give him some weed, he'll walk away.
Yeah.
Don't forget the White Castle.
No, you give him the weed first. Then when he comes back to fight you for round 2, you give him the White Castle.
Ah, okay.
You got to build up the munchies and then feed the munchies.
Red Road asks, since E3 wasn't a thing this year, a few questions. Sony had a thing recently, so quick thoughts. We already talked about it for about half an hour. PC show was a thing as well. Any thoughts?
I don't care about PC. I care even less about PC than I do about PlayStation.
I mean, as someone who's gotten a gaming PC in the last 6 months, I'm always up for looking into new games to play on PC. But at the same time, I'm more of a console gamer at heart.
And the one that we actually didn't really talk about, when they eventually happen, what do you want to see from Nintendo or Microsoft? Microsoft, I would like to see them actually give a hard price. I mean, they've been pretty good about talking about their backwards compatibility details and the smart delivery. I really don't think honestly, the only thing that Microsoft really has left to do is show off gameplay and not pre-rendered trailers like they did last time,
right?
On their Inside Xbox.
Well, I think they need to do. I mean, obviously, price. I think they need to add gameplay. But I think they also need to start promoting even though they've already said it's going to be a while before we see the games, but start promoting the first party, AAA titles.
Yeah.
We need to know more about Halo and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gear 6.
Gear 6, Frankly, all I want to know is when do I get Gears Tactics on my freaking Xbox?
True.
Yeah.
Jimbo says, ask Jimbo to talk about sports ball.
Oh, we already did.
Yeah,
We talked
okay.
about it with men and stuff, so we're
Yeah.
good there.
Final one from Wordman says, what other games do you wish for the 1-up arcade treatment? I want Star Wars Trilogy Arcade.
Ooh.
I would love it on a home console, but I don't know why Sega and Lucas or Disney or whatever can't make that happen. It's never been able to happen. It's one of my favorite arcade games more recently.
Wouldn't mind seeing a Simpsons arcade.
It's a Konami arcade beat 'em ups. So
Ooh,
Simpsons, X-Men, Sunset Riders, which actually just dropped on the Switch. It's like $10. I don't know if it has online play, but 4-player locally for some Sunset Riders. Fantastic game. Probably not going to happen because you have there's like so many licensing issues and licensing problems.
Mm-hmm.
I think they had what was that? Cowboys of New Mombasa?
Oh,
It was like the Ninja Turtles, but they're cows. There's the Bucky O'Hare beat 'em up as well. Just like a cab of Konami beat 'em ups. And we already had one for Capcom with like Final Fight and Captain Commando and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that would never happen. Sonic Blast, man. This game, it has this big, gigantic, like, red pad, and you put on boxing gloves, and you have to punch it. So basically, it's like, hey, there's this guy mugging a woman. Sonic Blast, man. You got to punch him 3 times, and the harder you punch, the easier he goes down. And then eventually there's like, oh no, this semi is going to run over a baby. Punch the truck. There's an there was an arm wrestling game too. I can't remember the name of it, but like you could pick like different opponents to go up against, and everyone cheated by putting their hand on the pad and just going,
yeah,
and then testing your strength. But I feel like something like that with 1-up arcade would probably break too easily.
Oh yeah, if you're mass producing it for home versions, then yeah.
Off the top of my head, I really can't think of any other ones.
I got nothing on this one.
Maybe some racing games. Like they've already had they've had like on the website. That would be cool. Yeah, you can do Daytona, VR racing.
Yep, I was about to say
Sega
VR
Rally.
Off road.
I mean, different publisher, but yeah, I mean, because I was looking at the arcade 1-up, and they have one where it's a sit down cab for Star Wars.
Yeah.
The old ones, the vector graphic ones. But like, there's one that I know it wouldn't been able to be reproduced on any console. It's called Lucky and Wild. It's basically it's a sit down. There's a steering wheel and 2 guns. So one person drives and holds a gun, and the other person has another gun, and you're just doing your buddy cops, and you're driving through and you're shooting down other enemies and other cars. Or one person could drive and the other 2 can just dual wield. It was such a fun sit down game, and obviously you can't reproduce that on any system, but I would love to see that. But
not with that attitude.
Any attitude.
One person uses the controller to drive, the other one uses the move controllers to shoot.
I think I made a joke of it on one of my old YouTube channels where it was just like, make sure it's like this, but knowing me, it'll probably be Kinect. And I think it was just, I want to say Melly and I acting it out. I was like, I was pretending to drive and he was pretending to shoot. And we were just like, this is not fun. I'd say I'm not sure. Okay, I think that was it for questions. So yeah, we're done. It's time to plug our stuff. If you stick around this much, this long, thank you so much. I'm gonna start with Short Bus. What are you gonna be doing over here on your channel? Mixer.com/shortbus_Eric.
Well, in the next couple days, we're doing Titanfall 2 tomorrow. One of my regulars who normally can only join us on Saturdays, she is off tomorrow and Friday, so I've been working, kind of coordinating with her on games that she has, so that she can join in a little bit more. So we're stepping away from the Halo series. I'm a little Haloed out, and also a little pissy after the events of today. So we're doing Titanfall 2 tomorrow. Friday, we're back to fundraising for Extra Life with Forza Horizon 4, and some sort of shooty bang bang game afterwards. And then Shooting Stuff Saturday will be whatever the last shooty bang bang game is left over. So,
Nice.
But most likely somewhere in the neighborhood of you're probably looking at Gears or Warzone or something like that.
Nice. And that will be over on Mixer.com.
Panty jump on your head.
Okay.
Love you, Word. Word knows what he did.
Yeah. Oh, there's a funny edit on your Twitter of that. You get it synced up perfectly.
Yeah, I did, and that was I did that. Like I said, I think I put that together inside of 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's well done.
So I got lucky with the sync up on that one.
Yeah.
But it was. I've been catching shit for that all day. So I was over in Team Spooky Hugs stream, and Banana Poet was like, Eric, when someone sees an exploding banshee coming at them, they tend to get out of the way. I'm like, shut up.
And of course, that is over at Mixer.com/shortbus_Eric.
My Spartan lived to be 102. You know how? Minding his own damn business.
Jimbo, you got anything cooking up? Or
Well, I mean, obviously on I stream occasionally, not much, but like you said, Johnny, me and you are going to be tag teaming Saints Row 2 starting on Monday. I'll be showing my perspective as well for that, so we can, in case the game breaks or I drive off a cliff while Johnny's doing the mission, because I don't drive well in video games. We'll be doing that starting on Monday, and if I go live, usually it's to just to hang around and shoot the breeze as you were.
Yeah.
Like I'll go through some MLB The Show as always because I enjoy sports and I'm a sports guy.
Yeah.
Also, I enjoy fighting games and such. I don't play them as much on stream because I get too serious.
Yeah. So as Jimbo said, we're gonna be. I'm gonna be starting that up with him on Monday. Because for me tomorrow, I'm gonna finish up Uncharted Lost Legacy. Millie and I will have a date night. I don't know what we're playing yet. But my next playthrough is I've got this. The next couple weeks are pretty packed because. Like I said before, I'm going back to work. I don't know how much time I'll have. Well, actually, the good chunk of my morning and afternoon will be at work. I think our hours are still going to be 10 to 6, so I'll still have time in the evening to get other stuff done. But that is over on twitch.tv/JohnnyLChase, where if someone can type in host in the Twitch chat for me, this lets everyone know that we do stream on our own individual channels various times of the day because we need to stay sane during these times of lockdown. But that is going to do it for us tonight. I want to thank everyone for chatting, hanging out, and participating. I need to check on something real quick because something came up and we didn't want to address it over the podcast. Okay. No. I thought something was live when I didn't. Okay. All right, so that's going to do it for us tonight, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Over on Gamedays, we'll be back tomorrow at, is it going to be 10 p.m. with Debaser?
Probably.
Okay. Yeah, 10 p.m. with Debaser. It's going to be his Extra Life incentive stream of Filthy Genji main with Overwatch and Heroes of the Storm. And then this Saturday, we've got Jimbo Socks doing the Minecraft You're Dead hardcore playthrough. I'm going to be
Yeah.
part of that. A bunch of other of the Game Days hosts and other special G1s are going to be there to play along.
Yeah, we'll have a rare drop link as well because I think some of the other G1s are going to be broadcasting their perspective.
Yeah, I might try that as well. And Garfield, what is he doing?
He's doing Overwatch on the PC.
Just regular old Overwatch. And then Wolf will be live with Jetbox Party Pack 6, which is another Extra Life incentive that L chose. Specific games from that. So be sure to tune in for that. So thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out. Can you say good night, gentlemen?
Good night, gentlemen. Sorry. Yeah, good night, gentlemen.
All right. Have a good night, everyone. Good night.
I can't. No.